Hi Ram, for everyone who is online, truly apologize. I don't know, I thought I started it. So I'm hoping now it will. We are starting with a mindful meditation.
This is a meditation on controlling negative thoughts. We all have times throughout each day that our minds are invaded with negativity. Whether these thoughts are very upfront or buried deep in our subconscious. We might feel negatively about small things like a task that's hanging over our heads, or larger things like a major life problem, or fears about the future, or even the state of our world. With all of the potential for stress and worry in our lives, it's no wonder that these negative thoughts and emotions can creep in. This session will seek to control those intrusive thoughts and bring about a clear and balanced and positive outlook on dealing with our daily tasks and seeing a clearer picture of our lives overall. We should not attempt to push away and avoid our problems, but instead see them with a direct focus in order to deal with them free of burden and overanalysis. To begin, find a comfortable position wherever you are, whether you're seated in a chair or on the floor. Just be sure to find a position that allows you to open up your chest and breathe deeply and comfortably. Always make sure that you're able to remain fully aware without drifting off to sleep. And yet, always remain relaxed and at ease. You may choose to focus on a point in the room at first, or gently let your eyes close. Begin to consider the rhythm of your breathing. As you breathe in and out, just continue to let it flow naturally, and just as you were before your attention turned to it. Allow yourself to feel your chest and lungs gently rise and fall with each cycle. The air moving in and out of your nostrils. And as you continue to do this, also just bring your attention to your surroundings. Evaluate what you sense around you, but remain free of any judgment. Simply observe, even if your eyes are closed. Is it bright or dark in the room? Are there any extraneous noises? Is the surface that your body is up against hard or soft? Do you have any aches or pains in your body? Where do you feel those? Are there any sensations that are especially enjoyable or comfortable at the moment? And again, as you breathe comfortably and feel your chest rise and fall, you are simply bringing awareness to this present moment. And as you focus your mental energy, we realize that this moment is really all that exists. When a moment has passed, it is no longer real. And although we do all we can to predict the future, that is also not real, but just a projection and our anticipation. In these moments of focus, I can bring more clarity to the realization of the realness of the here and now. Allow this truth to sink deeply within you. Continuing to breathe gently in and out, aware of your sensations and surroundings, focused and present. Now, ever so slowly and gently, count these 5 short phrases from 5 to 1. This is repeating after me, either out loud or just in your head. Just repeat them after me, starting with 5. I am present. 4. I am aware. 3. I put the past in the past. 2. I focus on the now. 1. I am present. Great. Just feel that wonderful presence. Something that we so often forget to embrace and enjoy. And now, let's count down just once more. And as you do, continue to be aware of your surroundings, your chest moving in and out, any spot that may tingle on your body as it senses the air around it, the surfaces that you're up against. This is a time that you are given to recognize that you are the one who is fully aware of your thoughts. You are in control of your own mind. And now, just count with me. 5. I am present. 4. I am aware. 3. I put the past in the past. 2. I focus on the now. And 1. I am present. Now that you are settled into the state of awareness and control, use the following few minutes, whether shorter or longer, to continue to listen to the background music and meditate on your own, and practice your recognition of this intrusive thinking. Just remember that any conjured thought is one that you want to recognize. It's not bad or wrong for this to happen when a thought enters your mind, but it is good to become immediately aware of the thought and then just brush it aside, returning to mental stillness. And so remember, thought, recognition, brush aside, and return to stillness. Thought arises, you recognize it, and you just brush it aside and return back to stillness. Just continue on as long as you wish until you are ready to finish the session. You may want to set a timer or check the counter on the video if you so choose. Or just go as long as it feels comfortable for you, or until the music fades out. Any way you wish to go about it. Enjoy the remainder of your session and continue in this presence. Thoughts arise, recognition, brush the thought aside, and return to stillness.
Saira. Let's take a couple of minutes to come back for our discussion. Okay, Saira. First of all, apologies for everyone who is listening online. I did not realize that uh, the go live did not go out successfully. So I hope right now everything is working okay. Just a review from our last session. So we started our discussion about where is the line between true surrender to God's will and resignation. We talked about feeling helpless is only being born when there is no faith, and true surrender only happens when we know that everything that is happening is for our good. We talked about elimination of the mind. We talked about form versus formless. We talked about dying in ignorance versus someone who is dying in self-awareness and knowing the purpose of the birth. But we did not go in detail about it. And then we did talk about the challenges that we face to change. And eventually we did listen to a video from Swami Sarvapriyananda talking on what is knowing and what is being. And his Vedantic aspect of knowing is being. So I know I have highlighted it at a very high level, just in due to the time that we have. But if anyone has anything else to add from the last session or anything, we can definitely take the time right now. Okay, so moving along, I thought we can start our discussion with what is the purpose of our life, because we did not go into complete detail on that discussion in the last session. And I thought we can talk about what is the purpose of our life today. I know we have discussed so many things. I know we have discussed in the past 94 sessions a lot of aspects, but each one of us, we are here for to recognize this purpose. And by answering this question to ourselves, maybe the start of a spiritual process that we want to encourage ourselves to go into. So again, I think we can go around the room or just randomly as well.
Sairam.
Sairam.
I think, as Swami has also said in the past, life is a game.
Mm-hmm.
So if you compare lives, several lifetimes, as a game of truths and ladders, the goal of the soul that's born is to realize that it's divine. It's the same as the Atma. That means if you compare it to the snakes, chutes and ladders, we start off somewhere and the goal is to reach that end, or the 100, or that square where the Atman is Jiva is merging with the Paramatma. So there is no distinction.
Right.
So in that process, the challenges that are given to us is the Maya. And all these desires and all these are distractions. The goal is you got to go over, those are all the chutes that bring you down. And the grace is the ladder that you get. So if you compare it, so you would have to play this game so that you gain more and more grace. So it's not completely random. That's the difference between that game and our life.
Yeah.
So we do have a little bit of ability in our hands as to when to choose the ladder versus choosing the chute.
Yeah.
So, but the square that you land in at the beginning of the lifetime is based on whatever you had played in the past lifetimes. So that's where you start off with in that lifetime.
Yeah.
And from there, you have the ability to choose the chute to go up, or choose, ladder to go up, or the chute to go down. So it's up to us as to what we pick. The whole goal is to keep climbing up the ladders so that we reach that 100 square where we merge with that divinity.
Yeah.
So this is my
nicely
take on
put,
that.
Sairam. Yes. Yeah. Anyone else? Okay. I know you have summarized it, Venkatji. So yes, the goal of our lives, or the purpose of our life, is to realize ourself as in who we truly are. And I think for that is the reason we are all sitting here. If you did not have that quest, I guess I actually had that word up there, you would not be here. We are here for that purpose. And yeah, anyone else has anything to add? Otherwise we can move on, because all of this, even if you recognize it, what is that knowledge we must have to grow spiritually then? Because we are on this spiritual quest. Every one of us can come up with many things as a purpose, taking care of family, taking care of other things, but we are here for a different reason. It's not yes, please go ahead.
No, I think the knowledge is that all the things that we see outside are all unreal. So that knowledge that we are divine and all these are distractions from that realization is that knowledge that we have to gain. And it's just the knowledge is, as Swamiji said last time, knowledge is being, right? So, but we also discussed last time that knowledge is just theoretical knowledge is only one thing. So after the thing we even talked about it last session, it's not just sufficient to learn swimming by just listening. Okay, you have to put your arms like this. You have to keep your legs stiff, and then paddle continuously. All those things are knowledge that we can gain, but we cannot say I know swimming unless you go into the swimming pool and start swimming. So the knowledge that Swamiji talked about in the last session is to that extent. If we know that we are divine through practice, then that is being. So then we have reached that stage of knowing is being.
Absolutely.
So that's what. The knowledge that we must have is that knowledge that we are divine, and what our Jivatma is nothing but a spark of that Paramatma.
Agreed.
I think that knowledge of not just bookish knowledge of just because somebody is saying, some Swamiji is saying, or Swami is saying, just because of that, not taking it. It's not just that. Yeah. We got to go to that level of realizing it. That's what I think.
Yeah. And that is the toughest part, I think.
Yes, that's why all these meditation, the practice, and the satsang, all this, because it's a collective thing. See, individually we can all do it, but it's more challenging than in a group sitting.
Yes.
Because each of us will share their own experiences and their own, or bring in the experiences of seers that we may not be able to listen to or get to. Right. So that's why the satsang is very important. And the more frequently we have this satsang, the better it is for our progress.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, please go ahead.
Yep, Sarah. So what I feel, the knowledge that we need to have is like when my own soul recognizes the other soul as the divinity that is equivalent to that. Like we might be using all the tools, because especially when you recognize the the soul in the next person to you is the divinity. That is what it is like. But I was little not aligned to what Venkat says. Like the whole world, all these things are unrealistic. Okay, they might be unrealistic or something like this, but we are using those things to enable ourselves to reach and understand these things. So if we don't have that, all these things, we can't even build our knowledge. So these are all the tools to build our knowledge.
Right.
So I feel like with the help of this knowledge itself, my soul will recognize the other soul as a divinity. When I understand completely purely the other soul is the pure divinity, then I feel like I'm there. It's unless I have that clarity, my atma will never be like getting into the Paramatma is what I feel like. That is what I feel like we need to have the knowledge, like to see the soul in the next person is the true divinity. Then only I can consider it as itself is like I'm in the spiritual journey. Otherwise, I am still in the world, like what it is, like the materialistic world or something like this.
Yeah.
So there are two things to it, right? Seeing divinity in others and seeing divinity in ourselves also, right? Going beyond. So today, suddenly my thought went to Kasturi, right? He had complete faith that, in Swami. Not only that, but he had complete faith that that is something, all these things are unreal, right? So his son died. He didn't care, right? He went out. No, he did feel the sadness, but he knew that he has to do the right things in his life, right? His wife became incapacitated. He became extremely incapacitated. In spite of that, he was doing the dharma, right? So I feel like the knowledge, yes, what Venkat said is absolutely correct, that, you can be taught how to swim, but you have to learn to swim. And when you have to learn to swim, I think the test come as a really difficult test in our lives.
Right.
And that difficult test, we have to have complete faith. And, like Gajendra Moksha, give up. So looking at divinity in others is one thing. You have to look for the divinity in yourself and search for that, and, be in that present, what you did today, right? That is very, very critical, because when we are tested for this knowledge, oh man, it is going to be hard for us.
Yeah, the knowledge. So we are also egoistic and full of our attachments.
Attachment. We are in the materialistic life,
Right.
right? In a
Yeah.
very materialistic situation. So we have to go beyond that, and we have to think about that aspect of it, right?
Yeah.
Complete faith that everything is happening for the good is
Right.
very critical.
It's very hard also to be focused.
Very, very hard.
When things are not going our way, and most of the time our mind tells us that things are not going our way. So I think that's where the challenge is. So if we look at it and we agree that that is the knowledge, and I truly agree with the point of view that this world is built for us to see the diversity and realize and recognize it. But more importantly, why is that knowledge that we are talking about so much so important? Is it important? I mean, would life move on without it? It would, absolutely. But we are saying it is the most important knowledge. Why?
I want to go up on Venkatesh's points, and so we are. Life will still continue the way it is. All these theories are built to make us stay calm, to make us stay hopeful, to be motivated, not to go in depression, not to lose hope, and be respectful to others. so that the society stays good. So all this Vedanta is the theory which tries to explain and answer all those questions. That's why we try to follow it. So basically, what we are doing is, like we're talking about this knowledge. So this question is pertaining to only Vedanta, but knowledge and realization. There are many theories beyond it. I mean, unrelated to this also. Without knowledge, without realization, still people are happy. Still people might be motivated. So this is one aspect which we follow, which is helping us to understand how to be a nice person in all the respects and be hopeful and to elevate. What is elevation? This is what is being taught to us also. Let's not forget that this is being also taught to us, that this is knowledge and this is the ultimate thing. We should trust it. I'm not saying not to trust it, but we need to start thinking also that this is one of the ways, this is one of the ways which we are following, which others might not be following. There's a huge, but that does not mean that they are not realized. They are not elevated souls also. They are also reaching to that level also, in other religions also, in other sects also, we see that. So this is just our thing, that when we get all this knowledge, we'll be hopeful, we'll not be depressed, we'll be always motivated. That is the whole idea. And we'll be dutiful. We'll be always serving our duty.
Yeah.
So all those purposes are solved and answered with this theory of Vedanta. That's what I would like to add.
Yeah, thank you.
Saira,
Saira.
Rakhi. I think most of the answers, it's all like an individual base. Like we cannot look at the world and say, this is happening. Look, if the divine is there, divine is here, or like for me, I would say the purpose of life, we need to be clear as an individual, what is my purpose in my life. That is the first we need to define. And that's when we look for that purpose, we stick to that purpose. My purpose might be different from the person next to me. But if I know what is my purpose, and for me, let me tell in a way, like my purpose is to know more and more and more about me. If I know more and more about me, I define myself like where I stand, how I want to grow, and how I stick to myself. The world is a platform which probably gives us those experiences, and we need to consider those platforms to define ourselves again. Are we sticking or are we getting distracted? So probably for me, the first question, what is the purpose of our life, will help us in developing that knowledge. And that might be different in individual perspective, but we need to go as an individual to understand more about ourselves.
Agreed. Absolutely. Yeah. Everyone is just like Venkatji gave us that example of the chutes and ladder board. Not all of us start from one.
Yeah.
We start on different numbers. So based on where you are, that's where your journey begins for this life. And since we are on this path of Advaita and we are discussing this, we have certain, I guess we have certain standards that we have established. One, that we know that life is a circle, like we always come back, or what have you. I mean, we believe in rebirth. We believe in knowing that we are not just the body. We believe in certain things, and we have established that already just with all of our discussions so far. So that's why I'm not going back into the basics. We all have learned something to come all the way here. So I'm assuming that certain things are established. We know that we want to be better tomorrow than what we are today. We want to be better in the next moment than what we are today. We also understand that there is a bigger essence or bigger goals in life rather than just this this birth and this life that and this home that we have, or this family that we have today. So these are all things that I think as a satsang that we have built it. Agreed to Rakhi's point on everyone's journey starts separately, and that is where it has to begin.
No, but at the same time, my perspective is completely aligned with what Venkatji said, because that's where we understand the knowledge, like that's where we begin actually. And we should not think in a way of jumping 10 steps, but
Right.
at least we are not coming down. And that only possible when we put into practice.
Absolutely.
Without that, we need to take those steps. Otherwise, we cannot move ahead.
Absolutely. Very well
So
said.
what Rakhi is saying, that's so much true. But we are in this field for so many years now. Why have we not achieved it yet?
So I have an
20 years,
analogy.
just one sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, we're doing it for 20 years, 30 years, more than that, maybe. So, what is missing? What is missing? I mean, we know this and we are trying to practice it also. Probably we are practicing or not. So, I mean, is it such a tough thing that we have not achieved it yet? Why? And we do graduation, engineering, and 3 year, 4 year, 5 year, 10 years, because we are here 20 years. Still, it is not getting completed. Where are we wrong? There must be something we are doing wrong.
Yes. Yes.
One. Number two, our own kids are not following this path. Why? They have gone college, married, jobs, everything. You talk to them. Oh, why are your kids don't come? Why your kids don't follow this? Oh, they are satisfied in their life. They don't need this. Or probably, they are much above this. Or probably some other answers we get. What is going wrong? I mean, I wanted to raise this point what Rakhi started. Please.
So I have a couple of things to talk about. So I was listening to all of you, and I had this, God felt this would be a good analogy, right? So the first step is, for example, I want to learn neural networks, right? So the first step, me wanting to do that, right? That's the first step. And then I say, okay, I want to learn neural networks. So I know I have Coursera, I have Udemy, I have, some other platform to learn through. There are multiple platforms. So then I pick which platform I want to use to learn neural networks. Now, it is something where you can learn at your own pace, they say. Some people go at a really rapid pace because they want to learn, really, their focus is in there and they want to learn and get it. Some people take their own sweet time, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, and still they have not learned, they are going so. So we as a spiritual, each religion I consider as its own platform to reach to that one final place. And we all are taking our own sweet time because we are not disciplined. We are not really inside motivated to do that. That is the main part. And then the kids having,
the first point that you said, it comes again. Do you want to do it?
Correct. Do you really want to do it is the thing. We don't, because we don't believe in it. That is the part. If you believe in it, for example, if you believe that exercise is really good, you would exercise no matter what. That would be your priority.
Right.
If you believe that this is the path of moksha, this is the path you have to take, you would be disciplined to get up at 4 o'clock, do the meditation, do all that stuff, right? Yes. So basically, we are doing everything half-hearted. That is the main problem. Right. And children having faith or not, they come with their own samskaras. So
done. Have we tried enough so that, see, for doing the engineering, for doing the medicine, we push them. When it comes to spirituality, we say they have their own path. Why can't we take that responsibility? For everything else, we contribute in their progress. For this path, they have their own. Why can't we push them towards this line? I mean, obviously they might pass or fail, but have we pushed them enough? Have we supported them enough?
So even for a professional, I don't think we can push them to finish it unless they want to do it. So for me, what you're saying, it starts with this, the soul that has come into our lives, or The child that comes, that is given, they have their own paths. Doesn't matter how much you instill, what you instill. What you can instill is a discipline. What you can instill is show them how the walk that we walk. There is nothing, I believe, that you can instill in the other child other than basics of respect. At least that's what we try to focus on. At the education level, the SSC level, we focus on discipline, duty, respect, all the 5 values that Swami has put forward, because that is what is the personality that we can build. Again, we have to reflect it first. Yes, please go ahead.
Sairam. So I see the point Manoj raised as very valid. First is we have to walk the walk. The children, if we want to bring the children up in that direction, because we firmly believe that's the path to progress, then we have to walk the walk, first thing. Because the children will learn only by actions, not by just forcing. We cannot force anybody. But the second is, why are parents not forcing, or not even forcing? Why are they not giving that much importance to this spiritual aspect to their children? Is probably because that's the society we are living in. Maybe if you look at India for 1,000 years back, there were probably a lot more, because there are, I mean, at least even when I was growing up, there used to be the Katha Kalakshepam, there will be people coming and talking about these stories and all that. And in trying to instill, and then parents will encourage them to go. They will go and attend. They will take the children with them to go and sit and listen to the discourses and all that. So we are probably in the society that is not tuned in that direction, but we do have a lot of avenues in the forms of internet, and there are so many sources available. Only thing is, we have to guide. I agree with you that it is our responsibility for molding the children in that path. That is there. But coming back to that thing that Manoj raised, we have been sitting for, forget about the children part. Let's take ourselves. We have been sitting in this for 30 years. Why is this, and is that difficult? I think it is. It is difficult because that is the challenge. It depends on your level. The challenge will come to you at that level, because it's like graduation at the first standard. First grade, the test will be whether you can add 5 plus 4 or 10 plus 20. At the 8th grade, 9th grade, it will be calculus. So the challenge will be more and more. Till you graduate to that level of a PhD or even more, where you are completely understand, master over that subject, this challenge will keep coming. That's what I think. I think it is difficult. It depends on where we are. I think that's what I think.
So I think you're all forgetting that like we are also kids one time. Like we are all saying that like we are parents not able to instill it. But we also came from the same thing. Like even our parents would have been forced us. But I feel that the purpose of the life gets uncovered as we keep moving. So there is nothing like even whether the kids are not, whether they are able to do it or not able to do it, or like we sitting here 30 years, whether we are able to reach there or not. We are also there. Like we moved from that stage to this thing. Next, our kids also, when they are there, they will be talking the same thing. Okay, my kids are not doing that, but we are doing that. So this is, I feel like the purpose keeps uncovering as we keep moving. So then it is not defined like there is, I don't see, okay, I will be knowing it at the age of 5, that what is my purpose kind of thing. Or like at the age of 50 also, I don't know what is my purpose of my life. Yeah, see, coming to that, like if I was like a Dhruva, or like if I am like that, if I'm predefined like to take a birth to that, to really meet that needs, that is a different. Probably Ishvara might be knowing that like why he has sent me onto this ground, but I don't know. If I know that thing, I would have been getting that ego or like something like this. Oh, I know all these things. Like why I know what it is there. So that is in that case.
Just only one thing I wanted to mention. The children, the spirituality should come under what environment they are living in. That is very, very important. That is what I think. It is not the parents, even if you push them, that they should realize themselves.
I think one thing, like saying pushing your kids, I think with being spiritual, it's you can't push anyone because when you're pushing someone, you're actually dragging them.
That's
So
true.
when we're saying, hey, we need to push our kids, then you lose the part of like learning the knowledge of like what your soul is, because then you're just learning what your parents are telling you or what your gurus are telling you. And that's the same thing as like, yes, we have these group discussions, but then with like the curiosity of like, say you're learning a new subject.
Mm.
Yes, you can learn it in class and you can learn it at the same pace, but the second you take it home and you do your homework or
Mhm.
you go on Google and search something more, you're actually going to learn what you need to learn or what helps you understand that subject specifically. So I think when we drag people along, we put them on the path that we're on, even though they might be needing to go on a different path.
Absolutely. Thank you for speaking for that generation. I appreciate it, Spurti. Absolutely. Very
There
well
is a
said.
major difference between pushing and guiding. We are to prove one point, we are using those vocabularies to prove this point wrong. Guiding is what we're talking about. No one is talking about pushing. Are we not guiding our kids to go to school? Are we not guiding them to go to college? Are we not guiding them to go to that particular medical college or this particular? Are we not guiding them? Is that pushing? That's not pushing. That's guiding them.
But when you're saying guiding, means they have the right to say, no, I don't want to do it.
Exactly. They have right to say
So they
no.
do.
Exactly.
So that's all that this is. I don't think we need to talk about that.
Who was it last time that Sarvapriyananda, he said that the faith is not something that you inherit from your
No,
parents.
you don't.
You do not. Sarvapriyananda said, you
Yeah.
do not inherit faith from your parents. It is all yours, all completely yours.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely. Yes.
Sairam.
Yeah.
See, but given that I take the point that Manoj is saying, I think we have to enable the kids our children to show that these are avenues available. Okay. To that extent, we need to do.
Absolutely.
It's not, for example, like
Even Swami has done that with the
I know
education
that's
sector.
important.
Yes.
The SSE program, for
Yes.
example, is extremely important.
Yes.
Because that is, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
as an example, it can be in any form.
Mhm.
I'm just saying that as an example. So that's extremely important because they have to be shown this is a path that is available.
Yeah.
Just like as Manoj said, there is a path for you. Engineering is a path,
Yeah.
medicine is a path.
Absolutely.
But if to get into that, there is a challenge. It's not easy to get into that.
Mm.
You got to do all your work. You got
Yeah.
to put into practice all that.
Yes.
And if the parents are also in that mode, walking the walk,
Yes.
the children will take it.
Yeah.
And they will, yes, they may refuse too. That's fine. That's okay.
But there is levels.
So that's what Somaji was saying. We ourselves are doing it half-heartedly.
Exactly.
So that is the key. We are not
So
have that fire.
right. I am. So when I say the purpose of our life, the reason that I bring out why is this knowledge important is the fact that we at least have the knowledge. At least we know that there is something like this existing in the world. Sitting here for 1 hour in an entire week is not going to get us to Brahman or to self-realization, right? So just like he said, I mean, we have to go through everything, all of these cycles. And maybe at some birth in the future, just like Venkatesh put it, we will be there where we will, but the quest has to still continue. Not only for us, but for everyone also. Because even in this whole thing, we have so many times we just feel, is it worth it? And then we kind of plateau. There is something like a spiritual plateau.
So
Yes.
I sorry, but
Yeah.
go
ahead.
So I feel that like we should not define this as the path to reach there. So any path, if you take the framework, the elements of this framework and apply it to any path, that is where like every path can be applied these elements. Whatever the elements you are talking in this path, whether I'm doing it in engineering or whether I'm doing it in research, you can apply this all elements, and then still you can reach there.
Yes.
That is where I feel like we cannot define, like, okay, if I would have taken, like, okay, any of the inventions would have not been happened if they don't have the complete devotion, complete faith in themselves, complete believeness in themselves, no innovation would have been happened. So I feel that, like, these elements of the framework should be taken to everywhere where you do, and you can apply it to that to reach that.
Absolutely.
So
I
as
think so.
Bhavani ji has shown the meditation part, I mean, I appreciate every week we are getting all this input. How much are we doing at home? As she mentioned, that this 1 hour is just a sample. We have to practice it. How much are we doing that meditation otherwise? How much are we revisiting all these Bhagavad Vahinis at home? How much are we visiting that chapter itself? Like we see all these shlokas coming up and going on. How much are we visiting and how much are we implementing it? That's what is going to finally matter.
The actions are the toughest part.
Yes. So,
Defining the acceptance is whatever is being defined, it's easy. Actions are the tough.
yeah, that's the reason we are going to be in this cycle of life, samsara, unless we actually break out of it. Yes, please go ahead.
See, and the beauty is, it's every moment we can see that. See this whatever spirituality, the lesson or that, it is every moment we can feel that. So in other words, when we go through, do some work, we can see that right there, that Maya will come, and then so we'll realize, oh, this is a distraction. Okay, so it's not like you need to sit in a separate place to learn that this is Maya, this is Atman, all that. You can do that every minute, every second of our life.
Yeah, because we made this path as our choice. Swami Sarvapriyananda made another path of life as his choice. And that's why he did XYZ that is needed for him to come up to that. So again, each one of us has chosen this path. So we walk this path dutifully and make sure that you do the best at every moment. So we have to come back to, I think the whole thing comes back to what I think Raki mentioned about being present in the moment. Every moment is a moment that you can change, right? It is something that we have to focus on. And when we do that I think is half the knowledge right there. So you're not dwelling in the past and you're not worried about the future. That moment in itself is where we can, then we will also have less regrets, because you know you did your best, you did your duty for that moment at that time. So yes, anyone has anything to add, because we have only 3 minutes.
See, the being in the moment is a vital thing, because most of the time our mind is only going in the past and the future. We had talked about it in the past. So it's because of that, being in the moment is extremely important, because then we realize that the past is gone. That's all Maya. The future is also unknown. So it's again a Maya. So it's all the play of the mind. So the present is what is true.
Yes. So right. So all I'm trying to say is, I'm just trying to summarize everything that we have built here. So
Bhavani, can I add?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
So fundamentally, like, what the way we are going, especially, see, it's all about storing. The framework, when we are saying that, like, we should not remember our past or something like this, the whole world, we are building systems to store like terabytes of data, like S3 buckets, okay, with the Amazon storage buckets and all these things. See, that is where the world is. We are, like, even in our daily lives also, if we don't have an account also, we don't even go back and see that, okay, what is there in my account? So this is where, like, we are carrying it. So when you say that, like, stay in the present, you should not have any of the traces or like any of those things which really ties up to distract your present. But we are being in the framework, we are being completely designed to always look back.
Correct.
So
and that is the challenge.
This is a challenge. This is the world that's getting built. And we are building it, and we are enjoying the happiness, saying that, wow, these guys are building so much of infrastructure to have our life more enabled.
Right.
So this is completely contradictory to what we want to have it like being in present.
Yeah. And that is the world. World is always contradictory to what it should actually be. So, okay, I just,
In fact, so that is, let's take it positively. They want to make all these drives and buckets to put everything in over there, not over here.
not in the head. That's
Not
what
in the
he
head.
said.
Who knows where to be?
All right. Just want to bring us back to the life application. I truly encourage every one of you to take a moment to have a breath-based reflection. You can, these are words that I have put in. You don't have to worry about these words, but think about that breath. Breath is the moment that you want to focus on, or you can focus on. It doesn't have to be every, I guess, every moment may be hard. That is only via practice, but at least we can start the practice. So the life application is to have a breath-based reflection of I walk the path of dharma when you inhale, and I surrender to all outcomes when you exhale. So with that, we can end with Om and Three Shantis. Thank you all for being here today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sai Ram.
Sairam.